Hello and welcome to Malchava Cuisine with me, Mrs. Naomi Tillett. This will be my very first video of the year 2020. I wish you all a happy new year. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you a wonderful recipe or wonderful recipes on how to make a delicious brunch or also a nice romantic breakfast, as we know that Valentine's Day is around the corner. So stay tuned and see what we have in store for you today. First recipe is the pancake recipe. For the purpose of this video, I weighed out the eggs, meaning that the same quantity or the measurements that the scales will give me for the eggs is the same measurements and quantity that will use for the self-raising flour. I'm now going to measure out the self-raising flour, so I'm going to ensure that the same measurements that it was for the eggs will be also the same measurement and quantity for the self-raising flour. So it was 195 grams for the eggs, same will be the 195 grams for the self-raising flour. In the bowl, I'm going to crack in the eggs. So after adding in the eggs, I'm then going to add in 1/4 cup of sugar, followed by 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, and I'm going to mix this all in by hand using my whisk. You can also use a hand mixer as well, or if you have a KitchenAid stand mixer, you can do that, but I prefer to mix it by hand because it's not a great big batter. I'm going to mix this all in well together, and then we're going to proceed to add in the flour. After beating the eggs with the sugar and the vanilla extract, I then proceeded in to add the self-raising flour with a pinch of salt, and I then mixed this all in with my hand whisk. And after that, I then proceeded in to add in the butter, melted butter. So I melted a good 4 tablespoons of butter, and then I added in the milk. So take your time. As you can see, I did take my time to mix this all in together to ensure that we have a nice smooth batter for the pancake. You can also if you feel as if you want your batter to be a bit runny, you want the runny texture, you can add in a bit more milk, or if you want it very firm, you can add in a bit more flour. And the consistency really does vary. I prefer it to be in between, not too thick, not too runny, just right to ensure that the pancake is nice and fluffy. Should be the end result of the batter, nice and smooth with no lumps of flour or traces of flour seen within the batter. Now we're going to proceed into frying our pancake. Using my pan, I'm going to ensure that I preheated my pan prior to me frying the pancakes, and I lightly sprayed it with my cooking spray. And once this has been sprayed, I'm then going to proceed to add in the batter of the pancake using my ladle. So I'm just going to use 1 scoop, and I'm going to allow this to fry until it's nice and golden on the other side of the pancake. But a quick tip to ensure that the pancake is cooked is that it will begin to form bubbles on top of the batter, and that is a clear indicator to ensure that the pancake is now cooked. As I mentioned beforehand, once you begin to see the bubbles forming on top of the batter, you would then need to flip over the pancake because it's cooked on one side, so I need to cook it on the other side, and then that's the pancakes, nice and easy. In terms of the heat, I placed it on a medium to low heat as well. The second recipe is a French toast, also known as pain perdu. And in order to make the French toast, you can either use normal or regular bread or a brioche. And I purchased this at Asda. As you can see, it's just a normal brioche loaf. And I purchased this to ensure that I can slice it according to my own measurements or size of the loaf that I want it to be done, or the slice of bread. And I know that they do sell the brioche slice, but I prefer to slice it myself. Now, to make the mixture for the French toast, also known as pain perdu, I've beaten in 2 eggs in my mixing bowl. Then I'm going to add in a 1/4 cup of sugar, followed by 1 tablespoon of vanilla and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. After beating the eggs with the vanilla, sugar and cinnamon, I'm then going to add in the milk. In the description box below, I will add in all the ingredients and the list of ingredients used, and also the measurements for each recipe. Into the milk mixture, I'm going to add in the slice of the brioche loaf. On each side, I'm going to ensure that it's lightly coated with the milk. And in my preheated pan, in goes again with my cooking spray. And then once that's done, I'm going to place in the slice of the brioche, and I'm going to ensure that it is nice and golden. So here it goes. Yeah, and then it's gonna go into the pan. I don't know, it was just amazing seeing this over again in the video. It just sees how nice it is to make until it is nice and golden on the other side. And I'm gonna flip it over like that, and there it is, guys. That's your French toast, and that's how you make a French toast, also known as pain perdu. Recipe number 3 is going to be nice and simple. I decided to make chicken chipolatas, which is chicken sausage, which I purchased from Aldi, and they taste delicious. So into my small frying pan, I've added in a drizzle of olive oil, and once this was nice and hot, I then added in the chicken sausages, and I just fried it until it was nice and golden on each side. So it's very, very simple to cook, guys. You can put this in the oven or you can put it in the grill, but I prefer to fry it because in the oven it does have a rubbery texture, whereas when you fry it, it's just perfect, and it just tastes nice. That's all I can explain. That's how I can explain it. It just tastes nice. So just cook it until it's nice and golden and thoroughly cooked as well, most importantly. Now, recipe number 4. This is the omelette. It's a simple omelette, but it has a slight twist. So in my mixing bowl, I've added in 2 eggs, and I've added in a seasoning which is called Vegta. Very, very delicious. I'm going to place a link below into where you can purchase this. Very, very delicious. And I'm going to beat this in well with my hand whisk. And then after that, I'm going to place it into the frying pan. Into my preheated pan, in goes the olive oil cooking spray. I swear by this product. I really recommend people to use this because it has 95% less fat than any other cooking oil. And in goes the eggs to make the omelette. Nice how it's bubbly. I just like when you make your omelette and you see the way it's just bubbling in the pan. I don't know, it just does something to me. But here it is. I'm going to allow this to cook a bit, and then after that I am going to add in half of a red onion. that's the twist. I'm going to add in the onions on the one side, and after adding in the onions, I'm then going to add in some diced tomatoes, these fresh tomatoes. I'm going to add in half of that within the omelette. The reason why I say it has a twist is because when I went to Morocco for my honeymoon, this was a thing that we had for breakfast every single morning at the hotel. It was delicious how they made it. And I'm going to add in grated mozzarella cheese. Yes, grated mozzarella cheese into the omelette. I purchased that at Aldi as well. And I'm going to allow this to cook a bit for a minute or so. And then once I begin to see that the eggs are nice and firm, I'm going to flip it over. Yes, I'm going to flip it over and allow everything to cook well, the eggs and the cheese to melt in together with the onions and the tomatoes. And I'm going to leave it for another 2 minutes or so and flip it over onto the other side. And that's the omelette, guys. Nice and simple. Really delicious and very easy to make for breakfast or for brunch. Very, very nice. If you follow me on Instagram, I asked a few of my followers in terms of what sort of content they would like me to produce on the YouTube channel. And one of my followers reached out to me and said, can you show us how you plate your food? So here it is, guys. I'm going to be showing you more of how I plate my food because we're all learning. I'm learning and you are also learning. So it's just a simple thing that I wanted to do to plate the food. So it's just the omelette there with a sliced tomato and of course the sausages. And I'm going to add some fresh coriander for decoration purposes, or you can use also fresh parsley as well. So it's just playing around with it, and if you have something in your mind, bring it into reality, and that's how you can plate your food as well. So here we have it, guys. We have the French toast, and we have the omelette, and we also have the chicken chipolatas, and of course the pancakes. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Please do not forget to leave me your feedback, any suggestions, and also follow me on Instagram because I'm very, very active on Instagram. And if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask me because I'll be able to answer all your questions. Okay, and please do not forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. This year in 2020 there's going to be a lot of content on Malchava cuisine, so you need to subscribe. We're going to go in on all the details. There's no hiding, nothing. Okay, thank you so much for watching. May God bless you.